forgive the emotion, but it's all part of it, isn't it?
Oh, it's like I'm not doing introductions. We've done it. We're in a European final, guys.
Exactly.
We've fucking done it.
Yes.
Oh God,
This generation's
first season.
Copenhagen. This generation's Copenhagen.
Oh my days. I was what? I don't know now, but just turned what was that, 94? Would have just turned 5 then when that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
was
been,
11.
yeah,
I was
and
11.
then we had the heartbreak of
2006.
2000 and 2006, and then since then we haven't been to a European final since. And this,
Yeah, it's brilliant.
because of
It's
what
brilliant, isn't it? And the opponent's not yet known. Extra time.
no,
It's
extra
still
time.
going. And I've got Frankfurt Chelsea on the background, but obviously I'll
Yeah,
concentrate on the
same.
pod.
If anything happens, I'll update people. So,
Yeah, tremendous. Absolutely
oh,
tremendous. How far have we come since the defeat in Brittany, Ryan? Because when that third goal went in, it was 3-1. I thought that
yeah,
was it. I thought it was finished. And it was to win in Naples and to win in Valencia. And, yes, it's our league form and all that kind of thing, but we haven't won in Europe for a quarter of a century, and we're 90 minutes away or 120 minutes away from doing it. And what a debut season that would be for Unai Emery if he could do it.
oh, that's as we're saying off air. 22 years under our old regime, not really doing nothing in Europe.
Yeah,
He just,
exactly. Just
that's,
making up numbers,
yeah,
having the buy or roll. Every player wants to play Champions League. Okay, that it may well be, but you can only play 11 players, and you
yeah,
subs. And I remember I was thinking about it today whilst I was at work, Ryan. I remember going to Arsenal Dynamo Kiev in '99 when Arsenal played at Wembley and we drew 1-1. Bergkamp scored for us and Shevchenko scored for them. And I remember the crowd sitting next to people that going, "Oh, isn't this nice, European Cup?" And I remember turning to an older gentleman next to me, and I said to him in a really polite manner, I said, "We're in this competition to win it, not to make up numbers." And you think of being battered by Bayern Munich, losing to Monaco, losing to so many defeats, of course. Milan, a very old and not decrepit Milan, but it wasn't a really it wasn't a stellar
terrific.
Milan side, and they
No,
fucked us 4-0 in Milan, and we won the second leg at home, and all those nearly misses in Europe, and to have 22 years of one manager not being tactically flexible in Europe. And it's no coincidence that as soon as he's gone, Ryan, somebody comes in who's won this competition 3 times, and we're in the final. It's absolutely tremendous. And I know people can moan about Unai Emery's debut season, but if you'd have told us this time last year, this is what we'll get, everybody would have bit your hand off.
oh, definitely. If you said, "Oh, this is Emily, he's our successor," and by the way, you're going to be in a top 4 race. You're just going to miss out by a couple of points or goal difference, or whatever. But you're going to get your European final, and you're going to win it.
Yeah.
You'll take that all day long. You'd have stuck the hand off. You'd have laughed,
Yeah.
but you stuck the hand off.
Well, I mean, from a selfish point of view, this was the trophy I wanted the entire season. I mean, obviously coming back from Arsenal matches from Amsterdam, it's no coincidence that half of the matches I've been back for this year have been Europa League home matches. I only missed Valencia and Karabakh, but it's just fantastic to witness that firsthand. But the strikers tonight, Aubameyang and Lacazette, maligned in some quarters, but doing the business, and they've got to do the business in the final as well, because you've got to win it.
Yeah, exactly.
Our European final record isn't great. It isn't great.
Yeah.
Lost in '95, lost in 2006.
Lost in 2000 on penalties.
Yeah, we've got 2000 on penalties. That's a good one as well, and we've got to really fight hard and get over the line, and and then it'll be a double whammy of going into the Champions League next season, and fantastic stuff, eh?
Oh dear. But what got me to the reaction, because obviously we conceded that early goal, about 10, 11 minutes in, and you're thinking, I can't be the only one. I was thinking the worst thing. Like, oh god, here we go. Because at that time they needed the two clear goals. I think, don't do it, Barcelona. Don't do what happened last night. And go to do out that advantage and throw it away. And then within 6 minutes, bang, 1-0.
Fantastic.
And then went 2-1.
Fantastic reaction.
The reaction was phenomenal tonight. Yeah. Hats off to every single one of them.
But also as well, we've gone to. I mean, before tonight, we'd only won 2 games. Spain. And that
Yeah.
was away to Real Madrid and away to Celta Vigo. I think Celta Vigo was 15 years ago. And we hadn't won.
0304, yeah.
Yeah,
0304.
we won 3-2, and we was very lucky in that game. I remember watching it on
Yeah, I was watching that back early on the season review from that season, and how, because again, because back then we were pumped up to absolutely demolish them, and literally how we got out there with the win.
Well, it's one of those games really, but and our record against Spanish sides was normally very poor. You know, losing to Zaragoza and Mallorca and Deportivo La Coruña and Atletico and Sevilla and you name it, we've lost to it.
Well,
but
Atletico last year.
Not tonight, but
No.
yeah, fantastic. You know, absolutely brilliant, and yeah, fingers crossed we can finish the job. And I know I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but if we win this competition, give Unai Emery his extension. Don't go messing about.
Yeah.
If we win it, give him another 2. I'm not saying if we don't win it, don't give it to him, but it will be timing is very.
There's a reason behind it then.
Yeah, timing is very important in football, as we know, Ryan. You know, and he's had a good first season, and we're in a European final for the first time in 13 years. We need to lap it up and we need to enjoy it.
Who would have thought back in 2006 we'd have to wait that long though? When you look at the team that we had then.
Yeah, but for games, I mean, I was at the knockout. I was at the home leg against Milan, the home leg against Monaco, and particularly the Monaco one hurt the most because I remember before I went into the turnstile, and this guy says to me, "Oh yeah, 4-0 tonight." I said, 4-0. I said, "You are aware that this is a Monaco side that topped a group with Bayer Leverkusen,
talking in the league that year.
Zenit St. Petersburg and Benfica." I said they're 3 difficult away games, and they've managed to come through it. And we were very, very poor in the Monaco game, but they were excellent. You know, under Jardim and Kondogbia and Berbatov and Subasic and Fekir and you know, very, very good. But it's nice to have success in Europe and to reach your final, and also for the younger generation, Ryan. I mean, I was very young in '94. But 94 still remains one of the most fondest memories I've got. And this is fantastic for the next generation now to see Arsenal in the European final, to see that hopefully we can win in Europe again. I mean, we are historically the 3rd biggest club in the entire country. And I think over the last couple of weeks, everybody's forgot that. Yes, Tottenham have reached the Champions League final. And, you know, the inquest in Amsterdam began today as to what exactly happened. And the manager has likened it to getting hit by a truck. But yes, Tottenham have reached that final, but they've got to win it. Otherwise, they'll just be like, there'll be no difference to us where they've reached the final. You know, if we can win our final and not concentrate on what they do and then take it from there.
Oh, definitely. It's still currently 1-1 over at Chelsea with their game, so there's no change there.
Frankfurt, I said it on this channel.
You called it this season. You called it this season.
Yeah. Well, for me, I started to take notice of them when they blitzed a group of Marseille, last year's finalists, and Lazio, and then knocked out Donetsk, knocked out Inter, knocked out Benfica. They're not. I mean, they lost the first leg away to Benfica. I think away to Benfica as well.
Benfica, yeah.
They turned it around. They deserve to be in the final as much as what we do. And I know people talk about an all English domination kind of thing, but if you're playing a European final, it's always nice to play a European counterpart.
Yeah.
You know, like the Parma side in '94, Asprilla, Brolin, you know, Zola, tremendous Italian Parma side.
Also the non-domestic final, you've got that sort of mystery. You don't know that you don't know your opponent by the back of their hand, sort of thing. Whereas Liverpool, they know each other by the back of their hand. If Chelsea were to get through to us, we know each other by the back of our hand. We've got that advantage over them. Whereas Frankfurt, not is it that European feel.
Yeah.
They're an unknown quantity to us as we haven't played them before. It will
be, if it is Frankfurt, I know it might sound cliche, but it's going to be the toughest test of the lot.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be the toughest. I mean, you only have to look at who they've beaten. They've won this competition before. They're on the verge of qualifying for the Champions League domestically. and it's an opportunity for them as well. And our history against German sides, knocked out by Borussia Mönchengladbach in UEFA Cup, being schooled by Bayern, having difficulty with Dortmund, losing to Schalke at home many years ago. It's all a real mixed bag. And just fingers crossed we can do it. But there's only 20 days to go. But that midday kickoff, as we said before the pod, after people be sitting eating their lunch.
That's ridiculous. I don't get that. That's absolutely fine because never.
I think.
Why you let them host it then? If that's going to be an issue, why do you let them host it?
But I think it's because they've got to be seen to give everybody a chance. I know that sounds silly, but it's true. I mean, like last year's final, I went to the home leg against Atletico in the semi-final, knowing I had a ticket for the final, and a lot of Arsenal fans sold their tickets and didn't go to Lyon. I did, and Lyon is a beautiful city, gastronomical capital of France, and it was only an hour and a half flight. I was sat behind Ruud on the plane, which is quite nice. And had a chat with him at the airport as well. And I suppose it's just pot luck. I mean, next year's finals in Gdansk in Poland, that's also had historically a difficult time and is really making inroads as a city. But if you look back in recent years, you've had Warsaw and Copenhagen, and was it Dublin was also I think Dublin was also held a final. Eindhoven held a final in 2006. So it's been a real Manchester as well. It's been a real mixed bag. It is what it is, and it's just one of those things, really. I mean, in my case, I could get to New York quicker. And that tells you.
You were saying that for the last few weeks about that.
I could get to New York. I have commitments where I will not be. I will not be attending the final in Baku due to prior commitments. But I'll definitely be watching it on TV. We're an hour ahead here, so it'll kick off at 1:00 local time. But you think for the occasion and everything,
you think it'd be an evening like the Champions League final itself is because it's in Madrid. That's obviously coached. But they're like yourself an hour ahead. That's 9:00 their time, 8:00 UK time yourself. You do that for work away down near even if it's like 5:00 or 6:00 in the evening, sort of.
But I think if you do that, you are. I think you'd be starting the final local time at midnight or 2:00 in the morning.
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's about. I'm not entirely sure with that, but it's about finding a balance, really. I mean, you think with the rumblings about the Champions League eventually being held in America, in New York or Los Angeles, and that will happen. It will happen one day.
Money talks, of course.
Yeah, of course it does. But you think of the fans. I mean, I've been very fortunate to attend all three of UEFA's finals: Super Cup, Champions League, and Europa League, and I only had to deal with Cardiff, Lyon and Tallinn respectively. So obviously from my base, it was never a flight that was a little bit too much, but fantastic experiences. But you think going forward, they try to find a balance. But it's just, I think also Azerbaijan was given the final because it wasn't selected as a host nation for Euro 2020. And I think they put themselves forward as a candidate, and they wasn't selected. And I think UEFA wanted to kind of appease them a little bit by giving them a European final. But hell of a long way to go for many Arsenal fans. I think the standard trip is fly to Moscow and then fly from Moscow to Baku. But we'll just have to wait and see. And again, they've only got 20 days to arrange things. And with the prices skyrocketing of lots of different things, it's not really much time in order to arrange things, really, is it?
No, I'm just on the Arsenal website now while you're talking, and just gone on the fixture bit, and I've gone in Wednesday, May 29th, and it's saying 12:00, but kick-off time to be confirmed.
No, I'd be very surprised if they switched it. I'd be very surprised if they switched it. I mean, it would be good because more people can watch it. But also, you got to think of the players. If you are a professional player and you are asked to start to play football at midnight, it would
You've got to have
be
the
a
whole
bit
day.
stressful,
Yeah.
especially a game of that magnitude. I mean, there was a dispute a couple of years ago in Spain. I think it's about more than a decade ago now, where football was played at midnight in Spain, a one-off round of fixtures, and there was a famous quote from the then Deportivo La Coruña manager who said in his press conference, "How can I tell my wife I'm going out to watch football at midnight? She's obviously going to think I'm cheating on her." And he tried to make a little bit of a joke out of it, but it'd be interesting to see what they do, because you've also got to think of the fans as well. If the adrenaline of attending one of the finals, it does take it out. And you're waiting around the whole day, and the security checks getting into the stadium and all that different kind of thing. You've also got to think
getting there as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I think
Hotels, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it is switched, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, it's just saying 12 o'clock. It's saying obviously 12 after. I'm saying it says 12. I'm assuming it says 12 afternoon, not 12 midnight.
Yeah, no, 12 in the up. It's 1 o'clock Central European time, because we're an hour ahead. So as I say, most people will be on their lunch break, but I'm fortunate enough they'll already have that week off work.
Yeah, and obviously if Frankfurt were to get through tonight, either by extra time or penalties, because near the end of extra time now, it's still 1-1. Even though it's Frankfurt, our players cannot go into that final in a couple of weeks' time now and take Frankfurt lightly. That's the case.
No.
Do not make the mistakes of the past.
You've only got to look at who they've beaten: Lazio, Marseille, Donetsk, Benfica, Inter, potentially Chelsea. They deserve to be there as much as we do, if not more.
No, definitely.
But they've got great wide players. Rebic had a fantastic World Cup with Croatia. They've on their bench De Guzman, who used to play for Feyenoord, has just come off the bench. Haller, who used to play for Utrecht, and Stefan Jovic, who's on loan from Benfica, scoring all those goals. Who's supposed to have a pre-agreement with Real Madrid. It's a real mix, and we've got to respect them. And you think of the occasion as well. You can't choose who your opponent is, but I'm sure Emery will come up with a plan. And fingers crossed he can do it. It's a goal for Chelsea, I believe.
Oh God, no!
Spiliqueta. Sorry, viewers. I think.
Hopefully,
it might have been disallowed by the linesman or the hang on a minute. They think that the goalkeeper was impeded, and he was. He
was impeded, but has been ruled out. Yeah, or they're still checking.
They're still checking, so bear with us, viewers.
When I say we've got respect, I believe Emery will give them all the respect in the world. It's the players, certain players themselves. They can't do Monaco and things like that. No,
he can win it for a fourth time. One thing about I believe it has been disallowed, and that appears to be the case.
How long's left in your end?
There are 4 minutes until penalties. But it's good refereeing, though, as well. One thing I would say, not just about that goalkeeper, the goalkeeper of Frankfurt before Kevin Trapp come along, who used to play for PSG, is a guy called Frederick Renaud. And he's a tremendous goalkeeper. I remember speaking to a few Danish interviews with players and managers that I've done, and they all say about him being a tremendous keeper. And I'm surprised Frankfurt didn't play him instead of Trapp. But, I'm not the Frankfurt manager, am I? But we all know the story with Germans on penalties, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't mean it in a selfish or a strange kind of way, but a European final against a European counterpart would be a lot more...
It'd be more special for us.
Yeah, it'd be more special.
As a whole.
Indeed. So we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. Ryan, as you know, I'm an hour ahead here, so I'm going to have to sign off now. Viewers, I hope everybody enjoys the celebrations tonight. I don't think we'll all get much sleep. And only 20 days to go till this generation's Copenhagen. And fingers crossed for the same result as well, with a bit of luck.
Oh, hopefully. Oh, that'd be everything. That'd be everything.
Exactly.
For his debut season, a Europe, not just a trophy, but the European trophy.
Exactly.
It's just,
For the first time in a quarter of a century. You know,
yep, and
you think what life was like back there 25
United
years
for,
ago. You
oh my
know,
God.
with all the different things that change in life, and tremendous. Ryan, thanks for having me on, and I shall.
No problem. Thanks. Thanks for coming on it.
Yeah, we'll definitely be speaking before the final. In any
Oh,
case,
definitely. Yeah,
in the run up and all the info, and like I'll do
yeah.
what I did with Ren and you know the Napoli with passing on information about players and stuff like that. I'll pass that all on in due course with a couple of pods before then.
Yeah. We'll definitely do something before the final itself as well.
Indeed,
Just like a preview or something.
and hopefully we can maybe speak on the evening of the final. Perhaps, who knows?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, take it
Hopefully,
easy.
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But enjoy the celebrations, and it just goes
And
to show we can be proud of our club tonight.
oh, definitely. And
take it
again,
easy, Ryan. All the best.
and you cheers. Enjoy the celebrations you're in as well. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Bye. Oh. Just to summarise before I wrap up. Champions League final, obviously, for me, getting to that Champions League final 2006 for me was, and it's still the feeling I got from that. Hasn't been beaten, and this has come close, but obviously won't elapse because but this means a lot still, and so much. As we've spoken on this show tonight and in previous shows throughout the season, 25 years. I was just turning 5 when we won in Copenhagen. Just turning 6 a year later. I was in primary school in 2000. Remember going into school the next day after losing the penalties to Galatasaray. And the majority of my classroom were fellow Arsenal fans, and we were just absolutely floored and gutted and so disappointed in the performance on the night because it wasn't a typical Arsenal performance back then. We sort of went within ourselves, and then 6 years later, the Champions League and the whole manner of that Champions League semi-final as well, getting to that final and the semi-final, that last minute pick to Villarreal, and the whole tension and Lehman saving the penalty. We've seen that the result, but this is so close to coming so close near it is unreal. As we've said, this could be Emily's 4th European title. Same tournament, but it's still a 4th European title. Something we never did get in the previous 22 years under our previous manager and the regime there. Now, I'm including the board, yes, I'm not just digging that thing, I get all hate for that. To have that pressure to come in and replace a dynasty, a manager that's been in a setup that's been there for 22 years, and for your first season to get to not just to get to a European final, but if he wins it, to win it, to be your first trophy in your debut season, a European Cup, and you've got people complaining. Yeah, domestically, we fell off. Especially near the end, we fell off. With Apache, turn it up to the first half of the year season, not a problem. Personally, obviously, one bad result against Liverpool away, but look where they are. It was things sort of dipping off in turn of the year, form-wise domestically. And it did initially affect us in the early stages of Europa. We used our home form to get us through that. But from the quarterfinal onwards, our form had dramatically dipped. And as I said on previous shows, we seemed to get also not that Napoli sort of player-wise, it's like they've all put their eggs in the basket of Europa League, thinking that's a damn deal sort of thing. It's a huge risk. I would have rather get a third or fourth spot, still go to the Europa League final. At least you've got that full. If you don't win the Europa League, you have that full back, but that's that. But it is what it is. We're in the European final, guys. Can we please just be happy? Stop slagging the manager off and me out, this, that, and the other. Because I know there's people out there that I've tried reaching out to a certain person who likes wearing Coke boxes or Coke Zero box, scarves, glasses, and then slagging up. But for years he was defending Wenger. Is he right? About a few months ago, was slagging off Emery because he didn't play Ozil on one game and calling for him to be sacked. No. Get off your high horse. For the love of God, get behind this manager now. Wenger ain't coming back. This is the here and now. We are in a European final. Get behind him. Come together as a fan base. For the love of God. It's on the penalties, by the way. I'll keep on until we know. And yeah, just can't stop nitpicking at little things. This is first season, for fuck's sake. I know they get really motivated in the video, but hey, come on. Apart from 5 players in this squad this season, the rest of this is Wenger. Squad he inherited from Wenger. So he had this season, like Gary Neville said at the beginning of the season, he had to give players that he hadn't brought in himself, that he'd inherited, give them rope and basically just see what happens. See what they do. If they hang themselves or not. Do they prove themselves or they don't? Certain players have proved themselves. Not a lot. 1 or 2 have. I say 1 or 2. Out of the team he inherited, Lacazette, Uber at times, and he has his moments, but tonight he stepped up. They both stepped up. They worked. They love it. They love their effort themselves, and they give their all when it comes to it. When it comes to these sort of games, Lacazette, I think every game he's giving it his all, and I'm quite happy defending. But also, if he does have a bad game, I will say he's had a bad game. But he's one of our most consistent players this year, without doubt. Aubameyang, yeah, he's our most wasteful player in the sense of chances apparently from the stats. But hey, are you really complaining? Are you really going to complain and ask for him to be sold? Are you mad? For years we've been asking for these sort of these 2 ilk of strikers. We finally have them, and you're complaining like absolute knobheads. Again, get behind the players and the team and your manager when they perform. The other players, like you mentioned Ozils, the Mkhitaryan's, except Mustafi, Xhaka, that haven't stepped up, have hung themselves. They need to go in the summer. There's no doubt about it. Just be happy. I'm happy. Yeah. I'm buzzing, for fuck's sake. It takes a lot for me to. I am absolutely buzzing. Oh dear, I cannot wait. I don't care what time. It's stupid to kick off time, but hey, it is what it is. That's what we can do. But I do have, depending on who will get in the final, I do have ideas what I'm going to. Obviously, as I said before, James, we're doing a preview, trying to organise a preview for that final. Say the day before. Yeah, the day before the final. Yeah, the day before the final on here, with myself, maybe someone else. I'll reach out and see who's available at the time, because obviously some of my guests that I have on throughout the season will obviously might be able to get tickets to the final itself. So once I know they're going or not, I can react on that. I may as well do a watch along in the final itself. I might. I will keep you all updated on my social media. I'm gonna put mine and James's links to our social medias in the description in about 5 minutes after this. So yeah, and obviously before that, I've got a little matter of Sunday doing the Burnley review, and I'll be confirming the guests and what time that'll be on Sunday. On Saturday evening, around 7, 8 o'clock. Saturday evening, I'll put a tweet out. So yeah, that'd be great. And I'm still waiting for the penalties to be taken. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully. I think as I called this. Thing is, what's happening at Chelsea tonight? I called it after Sunday. After we fucked up against Brighton, I knew Chelsea would do this basically because there's no what's known for them. Because the prize itself is a Champions League spot, and they've got a Champions League spot, so like, whereas we're sort of not in that safety because of recent form. Oh dear. I'm gonna obviously keep on here until that's come through. And yeah, penalties have been taken. Oh, it's one. Okay, it's 1-1 penalties at the moment. Barkley scored the first penalty for Chelsea, and I cannot find. I missed it because I missed the first two guys. So sorry about that. I can't pronounce the names. If I pronounce it wrong, I'm sorry. Hannah scored the first of the night on the penalty shootouts for Frankfurt. Oh, check that. Frankfurt have scored their second penalty. Jovic. Oh dear. So I won't be surprised. I'm not surprised that Chelsea this has gone to penalties because, as I'm saying, Chelsea they've got Champions League spot. They don't really need, apart from the trophy itself. The reward of that is invalid for them. Apart from we've got some in the top feelings if they did win it for Champions League next year. Oh, Chelsea have missed, I believe. Aspilicueta has missed his penalty. So right as Frankfurt, Chelsea are proving me right. There we go, bottle this, just dragged it out for the whole evening. Why not just lose in 90 minutes, you absolute rent boys? That's being polite, by the way. Oh well. And it's now 3-1. De Guzman has scored. Almost I think he played for Swansea, didn't he? A few years back. What do you know? It might be a relation to him, I don't know. Someone can do one. Oh dear. Once I know, obviously, I'm going to confirm to you guys, wrap up. I've said what I've said about my next show, and then obviously ideas for the final, preview for the final, and possible what's wrong. But I'll be confirmed near the time. Once I've spoken to people and this, that, and the other, and obviously once I know the kickoff time as well. So yeah, because I've got to make myself available that night or afternoon. Actually, for us, even for them, Baku. So yeah, that'll be fun. These are very positive. These are big, and I don't know what it is of this bloody else. Lighting, especially this bedroom, is absolutely terrible. I will be sorting it out over the summer. Once everything's the season's done and dusted, I will be sorting this out. Oh, no. Frankfurt have missed their fourth penalty. I don't know. What's that? They're saying one thing on here. Oh, because it's kind of fucking Muslim, isn't it? Fuck's sake, idiots. So, it's I can't remember his name. He's basically he's penalty saved by Kepa. There's now back in. It's all fucking. It was all level basically. David Luiz take everything back to level. Oh my days! Who would have thought? This would be so bloody stressful, eh? As I've said before, when James is on, I prefer Frankfurt because it's got the European feel. Plus with Chelsea, depending on what Chelsea turn up, you just don't know anymore. There you go. Hazard to win it, so it looks like we could be having a chance to win this final. Oh, for Pete's sake. We're back to any second, back to an all English European finale in both Europa and Champions League. Oh, days. Oh, my days. And Chelsea are through. So, the London final in Baku. Great. Couldn't have a European feel to the final after all. Got a Champions League final where two teams have never won a domestic league in the 21st century in the Champions League final. Probably the biggest prize in club football. And obviously, two teams that have won a Premier League title or domestic league title, so to say, in the 21st century in final of the Europa League. So are guaranteed. Oh, bloody hell, I mean, if obviously City win the league, then they'll be in pot one Champions pot. Whoever wins Champions League will be in the Liverpool, Spurs will be in that. Arsenal, Chelsea. We'll have three teams. We will have three teams in the Champions pot for the Champions League group stage draw. That'd be interesting. Oh dear. UEFA will not be happy with that either. God, look at their long final, is it? Feel sorry for Frankfurt there. They deserve to be in that final, as James said. Yeah, as I said, once the season's over, as well about the lighting. Once the season's over, I will be looking into sorting all this out, one way or the other. And when it comes to when this season gets into the winter, autumn to winter period, and we have the dark evening review, we won't have this issue of it being so dark. It'll be nice and bright, so you can see me, not just my guests, or see part of my face and bloody shed of my fucking hair. Oh dear. So yeah, thanks for everyone that's watched. Probably get a few dislikes for the last half hour because of me trolling on while that was going on. So yeah, Arsenal Chelsea Europa League final, Wednesday the 28th of May, lunchtime kickoff as it stands. Ridiculous. And yeah, until Sunday. Keep celebrating. Embrace this. This is a once in the blue moon. Come on, situation we're in. For a European final, not you don't get this every year. Come on, you have to be something of top quality, like Real Madrid-esque, to be thinking you're guaranteed it every year. So soak it in, embrace it, celebrate and enjoy the occasion. And just, yeah, basically. Until Sunday, which will probably depending on what happens that day, as in the league, where the league title goes, and this, that, and the other, and obviously who's available. I've got one person lined up already, and one's going to get back to me. He doesn't know if he'll be able to be back in time or not. So once I know that, I can then, as I said, I will confirm on Saturday evening, about 5-10 minutes after I finish this off, putting the links of mine and James's social medias in the description. Feel free, if you haven't already, follow us. Also, before I go, wrapping up now. Always draining on. It must be pissed off, basically. Right. If you're just coming along for the first time you come along to my channel, hit the like button. Smash the hell out of that like button. The more likes I get, the more people, because of the way YouTube works, more people get to see it, basically. And yeah, so smash the like button, do that. Also, if you haven't already, and you like what I'm doing, and you like the ideas of what's going forward, and the idea of my review on Sunday for Burnley, preview for the Europa League final the day before the final, and a possible watch along for the final itself with me and one or two guests to be confirmed near the time. Subscribe as well so you don't miss that. Hit the notification bell so you definitely don't miss any of that. And leave any feedback you have in the comments box below. And until Sunday, be happy and come on, you gunner!